Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Nazneen, and today I want to talk about somebody that I have been following for a very long time, and I've always been super intrigued by her. And so I recently saw a testimony of her going from being extremely into the spiritual world with tarot cards and psychic readings and Reiki and all of those kind of things. And now she's into, or not she's into, but she's kind of denounced all of those things. And now she is a follower of the Christianity faith. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I was a little bit shocked, to be honest. When I heard it, I was a bit shocked, a bit confused, and something about what she was saying, the way that she was speaking and the information that she was giving out, something in that triggered me. Now, I'm not going to focus just on Ella because maybe you don't follow Ella and maybe you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but you might be familiar, or you might maybe be one of those people, or maybe someone in your family has done this, where you are in the spiritual world, and it could be vice versa, right? But you're in the spiritual world, you probably are into angels, and you get excited, and you tarot cards or whatever it is, and then suddenly you find your way to a religion, right? It doesn't have to be Christianity, it could be anything. And the reason why I want to get into this is because in this world that we're living in right now, it's super black and white, right or wrong, left or right. And there's no nuance and there's no gray areas to any of these things. And I think that is where we get in trouble, because we are so focused on who is right and who is wrong. And by doing that, we literally are missing the whole point of why we're here. This is why I think it is so important to talk about this subject now more than ever. And so what really struck me about her testimony, and by the way, before I even get into my points, I do want to mention that I have zero judgment towards anybody who is religious. You're not religious, you're atheist, you're, spiritual, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'm spiritual myself, but what matters to me is the deeds, is your words, and is your actions. What does that look like? I do not care about what you believe in, because at the end of it, again, this is my belief. I believe we're all one. We're all made in the amalgamation of God. I actually thought about this, or I guess I got a download. I don't know whatever you want to call it. I was in the sauna. This is so off topic. I love myself. And I was watching these two Asian ladies in front of me. They were butt naked, and I was staring at them. I'm not gonna lie. I like to stare at bare naked ladies. Okay. And as I was watching them, I had a thought in my head that came up, which explained to me what we all are. Okay. And the explanation was this: think about me as being an apple tree. You got it? And then you, as you're watching this video, you are an orange tree. You're an orange tree. I'm an apple tree. But where is our life force coming from? The roots that are touching the earth, right? That is our source. So even though I'm an apple tree and I provide a unique scent, a unique taste, and the orange as well is a unique scent and a unique taste, but we both come from the same source. Like Eckhart Tolle says, and I don't know where he gets this from, but he mentions this: we are a ripple in the ocean. So I am one ripple in the ocean. So whatever ripple I'm making is affecting the other ripples and the sea around me, the ocean. Or if you take a cup and you dip it into the ocean, that is you. You are a little cup of the ocean, which is source, right? So to me, this is what I believe, and somebody can disagree, and that's okay. But for me, what I believe in is that we all come from the same source. What triggered me in her testimony is basically when she mentioned that because with spirituality, she ended up getting this. I mean, she doesn't take accountability for it, but she does say quite a lot of times that I was addicted to she's really trying to find herself through spirituality, right? And as she was using tarot cards and she was doing these Reiki sessions and all these other things, she realized that it's all demonic and it's literally the devil, right? So I think that is what made me want to make this particular video. And it's that black and white thinking that has got us into this division in this world, this war, this hate, this anger, and I really want to emphasize on, you can believe in whatever the hell you want, but there's no need to put the other person down and say, no, my way is the best way. Your way is demonic and evil. And when you believe in that, that means you're going to go to hell. And it's the worst. And what might have really happened in her situation, where she says that she was, feeling this dark energy, which could have happened, right? Like 100% that could happen. But everyone's way of connecting to God is so personal. And that is why we have no right to judge what somebody else is doing to connect with God within them. And again, keyword within them. God is within you. God has literally created us. He's in us. And so the moment that you're trying to look for God outside of you, when I do this, when I get this amount of success, when my parents are proud of me, when I do ayahuasca and I finally feel this high and I connect with God, like all of these things are things that are outside of you. And of course, I'm not saying ayahuasca doesn't help you connect with God and does amazing things. It definitely does. I feel like when we have this need, this dire need to constantly just look, and we're unable to sit still with ourselves and accept our reality for what it is. And if a person connects with God through crystals, then that is their way of doing it. If somebody wants to go to church or a temple or a mosque to connect to God, that is their way of doing it. And by the way, doesn't it say in the Bible somewhere that judging people is wrong? I mean, I don't know the exact wordings of it. I think I definitely Googled it because I wanted to make sure. But he definitely says, judge not. I'm going to put it on the screen just so we know. The first thing that he says is whenever you're trying to be superior, or you feel superior to other people and you feel better than other people, that is not the way to be in the religion of Christianity and so many other religions, not just Christianity. The one thing I realized as well with judgment, and I read this in Kabbalah, where it mentions when you judge somebody else, what God ends up doing is God puts you in that very situation that you have made that judgment on that person. So let's just say, for example, you judge somebody for being overweight. You're like, oh my God, look at my body. I look great. And look at that person. They need to lose 10 pounds. Like, what's wrong with them? What the hell are they, why are they so lazy? And so on and so forth. So when you're doing that, you think, oh, I'm so much better than them. Like, come on. But in reality, what happens is you are going to be put in that same position, or maybe your metabolism is going to slow down, or, something will happen karmically. And I know not everybody believes in karma. And also, we are in our own journey. As if somebody wants to follow a different religion, they want to change into being more spiritual or whatever it is, that is their path. And we need to allow people to be wherever the hell they want to be, because that is what their soul is choosing. Every soul on this planet has a free will. That's what the gift that God has given us, free will to decide for yourself who and what you want to be. The message that will resonate with me might not resonate with you. So why the hell am I trying to convince you to resonate with my message when it doesn't work for you? I remember when I first started getting into the law of attraction and manifestation, forget about God, I wasn't even there yet, but I was just into, all these, the new age stuff that we speak about. And I started to feel powerful and I started to feel better than other people. And what I realized is that was my ego. And your ego, I know we don't want to admit it, but your ego is really the darker part of you, the darker side of you, the devil, if you will. I don't even like that word, but that's just the easiest way to put it, dark and light. And after a couple of years, I went through my dark night of the soul. My ego died. And I mean, it's still there, it still exists. It's not completely gone, but I'm able to recognize it now a little bit quicker. Not always perfect. I still make my mistakes. But I can look back and be like, oh shit, that wasn't me. That was my ego. My dark night of the soul was the best gift that I could have been given. Even though it was really painful, it was scary, it was all of those things. It was like a movie that I feel like I watch sometimes. I'm like, how was I there? I don't get it. But it happens to a lot of us, and it gives you a reality check, which a lot of us need. And so that really humbled me and taught me that you need to calm the hell down, sweetie, all right? And you need to have more compassion for human beings. You need to forgive more. And so that is where that started my own journey of connecting to God. Even though my journey was very different, I didn't really go towards tarot cards or Reiki. I mean, I did a session, I got someone to do it for me. I did a Reiki session, but I didn't get trained. I wasn't really interested, to be honest, to be a healer. I feel like I'm more of a words. I don't know if that's the thing, but I'm somebody who likes to talk and make you feel safe and happy and comfortable. And that's my healing. That's, I think, as far as I want to take it. I'm not somebody who would want to do any of those things, but I mean, it's okay if you do. You're needed. If you're somebody who is a healer and doing all these different type of frameworks, please, I'm not saying that's bad. Please continue doing it. And luckily, I didn't push myself to try something that I didn't really want to do. And what I realized as well with spirituality, it could be super lonely, super isolating. And if you have the wrong people around you, or you're watching the wrong stuff on TikTok, you can really go down a rabbit hole of ridiculousness and the wrong information, and you could go on different paths, right? And again, one thing that I want to mention is that sometimes we think that the devil, and I definitely thought like this when I was younger. I used to always think the devil is outside of you. It's an entity, or it's a dark force that is trying to take you down. And what I realized is that the devil and God is actually within you. It's here. And I didn't realize this. Oh my God, I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I don't even know if I want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I realized this when I was getting so triggered with my daughter. It triggered me, and I had a very bad thought in my head. I'm not going to lie. I was really upset, and that anger and rage. And I was like, oh my God, this is not me. Right? And I realized this is your shadow, the shadow side. And that side actually, I mean, you regulate yourself, you leave that situation, you calm yourself, and the next morning you wake up and you have to ask yourself, what was that? What were you trying to protect me from? And you really have to work on healing that wound. And that is something that I realized once I became a mom. So having a daughter, having a baby really taught me. And it's such a difficult lesson to learn when you have a child, because when you're a parent, you want to be perfect. You want to do all the right things. You want to say all the right things. And then, especially for me, I was somebody who was always wanting to be perfect. Perfection was my thing. If I'm not perfect, I don't want it. And when I realized, oh my God, there's nothing such as a perfect parent. Like the mistakes that I make every single day, and I say so many silly things that I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be traumatized. Why did I do this? Why did I say this? And it's just something you have to live with, that you're never going to be a perfect parent. You're going to make mistakes. And I heard, I'm forgetting his name. If I find him, I'll put it here. But he said, there was a lady that came to one of his shows, and she asked him, she's like, listen, I don't want to be a parent because I've been traumatized with my parents, and I feel like I'm going to give it to my children if I ever have them. And he said, so good. I don't even know if I can explain this right, but he's like, your mom gave you this amount of trauma. You might give your children this amount of trauma, and then your children will give maybe this amount, and it's just going to keep getting less and less. But you cannot let fear stop you from doing something that your soul is desiring to do. And I just found that like it almost made me feel like relieved. I'm so off topic, but I just had to share that with you guys. Maybe you're confused with, wait, what do you mean the devil is within me? I don't have the devil within me. I'm not dark. And and I understand you think that, but let me give you some examples. If you're somebody who tends to procrastinate, you have a little thought in your head, but maybe I can do it tomorrow, next week. Oh, I'm just too tired today. You make excuses. That's not God. That's maybe you go on a date and you tell yourself, I will never ever be disrespected ever again. And then you go on a date and guess what happens? The man disrespects you. Maybe you tell him, listen, I don't want to kiss on the first date. And what does he do? He gives you a kiss. And what do? You allow it. Why do you allow it? Because you want to sabotage yourself and you want to waste your time a little bit longer. And that is a test that you failed, and it's okay because I failed loads of those tests. It's all right. But what I'm trying to say is that is the devil within you. Okay. I know it sounds a little bit weird now that I'm saying it out loud, but it's the easiest way to explain this devil that we're talking about. Okay. It's not an actual entity, but it's in your consciousness. And I also believe that good and evil has been created for a specific reason, in order for us to understand our lessons, in order for us to heal ourselves. Because if it was just good everywhere, then let's just go back to heaven. What the hell is the point of this? I don't get it. We need polarity to understand our wounds, our traumas. This is soul school after all. We're meant to learn lessons and not just be on vacation all day long. And maybe the devil is in your intention. I'll give you a little example. So there was a woman that I was working with a while back. She worked in the sex industry. And after a while, she ended up becoming an escort. And that led her to finding the man that she's with right now. And her father was an alcoholic. He never could really look after her, take care of her. And I see this a lot with women where they choose the wrong partner. They're in the abusive, just ridiculous relationships because they don't have a proper father figure in their lives. And it sucks. And it's sad to watch. But it happens a lot of the time. So asking yourself, what is your intention to be with a man? Is it because you want him to pay your bills so then you can run away one day? Or is it because you truly love that man and you want to, you want to have children with him, or you want a relationship with him, or whatever it is, right? What her reasoning was is because she just wanted to save some money. And so I asked her, what would you do after you leave this man? If you ever leave this man, what would you do? And she said, well, then I'll find another man. So these things, even though we might think, well, it's a choice, it's her free will to do whatever the hell she wants, she's happy. Well, so she says, but she's not, because I can see when somebody's unhappy. I can see it in their eyes. I can see when they have given up on their passions, on their purpose. You could see the emptiness in somebody's eyes. I don't know if you can, but I definitely can. And there's so many other things that happen in that relationship. But what I really want to share with you is that's a part of the devil that is within you, that is holding you back, that is stopping you from making the decisions that you came to make in this lifetime. Back to what Ella was mentioning in the video. So she had a pattern. And again, I always notice people's patterns because that is going to tell you everything that you need to know. You don't need to know anything else. You just watch them do the same shit over and over again. And you're like, oh, makes sense. She has a pattern of seeking intensity, right? She doesn't do anything halfway. Even with tarot cards, apparently she bought 60 or 70 of them. Like whatever she does, she cannot just do it like little by little. She has to go full on and like 10 folds on top of that. Like she has to just, dive in deep. And that's a really great quality sometimes, right? You want to be committed. You want somebody like that. That's fantastic. But I think that when you're waiting for something in that experience to save you or make you feel calmer or more regulated or whatever it is, we're not going to get there, because the peace and the love and the satisfaction, whatever you're looking for out there, is really within here. So you have to start first inside. And I know this firsthand because I was that girl. I was that girl who was always looking for things outside of me. Drinks, drugs, men, whatever, experiences, traveling. And it never satisfied me. I still was like I feel the same. When you come back home, you're like, oh wait, I still feel empty. I still feel lonely. I still feel like shit. And so it takes some time to understand this lesson. And hopefully we all do. My biggest message for you here truly is, first of all, don't be judgmental. That's the first thing I'm always going to say that. Secondly, is that if you're somebody who is seeking something outside of you, whether it's through religion, you're like, I want to change my religion, or I want to get back into, I want to become more spiritual, whatever that means for you. All I want you to do is I want you to take your time with it. I don't want you to rush into it, because when you rush into it, you're not able to really feel what you're meant to feel. Okay? And a lot of the times, us human beings, we're trying to get there fast, and we're missing that journey. The whole point of being on this planet Earth is the journey from point A to point B. If you're missing that, when you get to point B, when you're like, oh, I'm here, you're like, okay, what next? And then you do it again and again and again, and you're missing life. And angels can be demonic, aren't they, in the Bible or something? What? I just want you to reflect on what your beliefs are. Are you living in a black and white way of thinking, or are you open? Are you open-minded to listening to other people's perspectives and coming from an understanding place? You don't have to agree. You don't have to say, you know what? You're right. You don't have to say that. You just have to understand where somebody else is coming from and their experience. I really hope that she finds herself, she finds her way, and she will. Whatever makes you happy in life, go do that, and if somebody is making you feel like crap about it, then they gotta go. And to top it off, I just want to mention that your faith doesn't need an enemy. An ego needs an enemy because they need to get defensive or whatever, but your faith doesn't need an enemy. So you don't have to, just because you believe in something, in a religion or a way of being, you don't have to make everybody else demonic and wrong and incorrect for believing in whatever the hell they want to believe in. So that's my main message, to be honest, in this video. And no judgment to anybody out there, but I just want to spread this message of accepting people for where they are. Believe in whatever the hell you want to believe. If it makes you feel happy, if it resonates with your soul, continue that. If you feel like it's not resonating with your soul, and if you feel like you're going crazy up there, ask for help. Talk to somebody about it that is also sane and is in the field of helping other people. I also want to mention, if you're somebody who is tired of choosing people and situations in which it's costing you your self-respect, and you're ready to experience love in where you don't need to shrink in order to be chosen, then apply for my private clarity session. The link is going to be down below. Thank you guys once again. I'll see you guys in my next one.